welcome to the rookie lap. I think we're up 2.0 now.
Yeah.
We just got through listening to the Circuit of Americas.
COTA.
The first race you didn't get to see or be at this year.
Yeah, I tried to get people to take me to Texas and nobody would do it.
Well, it would have been the same result.
Yeah. I thought I was the
Nothing
reason
new.
he was winning, but I guess I wasn't.
Dang. Yeah, isn't that something?
Maybe it's Michael Jordan. He's been at all three of them.
Yeah. He's setting the NASCAR on fire right now. Done something that's never been done before. Well, heck, if it had been any of the first three, I think it would have been a repeat of some sort, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Shane would have gone, what, 6 in a row?
6 in a row, and Bell would have went
Back to
2.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shane was trying to tie Jeff Gordon's record, and Reddick's breaking a record.
Yeah.
And Bell would have been the only person to win 2 times here, but instead Reddick did it. But
I think it's more impressive that Reddick did something that hadn't been done in a 78-year history of the sport.
yeah.
I mean, that's saying something. You think about all the great drivers that we always talk about that's been in the sport, been around the sport, and nobody's ever won the first 3 races. I didn't even realize that, to be honest. I would have thought Richard or Jeff Gordon or somebody would have done it.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
And there was only 5 others that won the first 2. I think it was Gordon and Matt Kenseth, and then way back in the 60s and stuff.
I remember when Gordon won 2-0 because the place I was working, I was somewhat of a Gordon fan, and one of the guys that worked there hated him, so I'd write it on the wall. Gordon, first I wrote, Gordon wins Daytona. Oh, he went racing it off and got rid of that. And then next Monday morning when he came in, I had 2-0 on there. Yeah, he was hot. It ain't fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But not 3 in a row.
And 2 from the pole.
And I want to say that year, if I remember right, I think the next race after that, maybe the 4th race, Gordon won 2. He won like 3 out of 4 or something. He won several right up front, but not 3 in a row, never been done. Probably never will be done again no time soon. If they do, that'll be amazing. So, I guess the big question right now is, what's the chance on 4 in a row? We've had other drivers to do that, but never 4 in a row to start a season.
I think looking at Toyota's success as a whole at Phoenix, he's got a good shot.
Yeah, man, they got their program. You know what they say, wins breed wins, breed wins. How long, when's the last time somebody won 4 races in a row? Would that have been Gordon? Or no, that would have been Jimmy Johnson, I guess. I think that would have probably been Jimmy Johnson, if he even did it.
Yeah, because I think wasn't Logano going to win 4 in a row in 2015 when Matt Kenseth wrecked him at Martinsville?
Yep.
So he lost his 4 there. And then Bell and Denny and Larson and all of them only got 3, I think.
Yeah, and that's a tough feat. I mean, you think about it. That's pretty tough, winning 3 races in a row to begin with. Before that's, all right, let's see. I'm trying to remember all the drivers that did do it. I know Gordon did it. I know Harry Gant did it.
Well, it might be on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure I can look it up.
But yeah, I mean, I think his shot is good at Phoenix because thinking back, I mean, Bell won there last year, and Denny had a real good car there. The Toyotas as a whole have had speed there, so I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think it's not out of the question. So he could keep the streak alive if, I don't know if I bet on it, but it could happen.
I don't see anything right now stopping him. I mean, he beat the best that there is at road courses, I guess, but this is probably Shane's
weakest
road course. This is gonna show me modern history, so we're not going back prior to 72, I guess, from what I'm seeing here.
Yeah. 72.
Yeah. Even though it's been 78 years. Well, this ain't showing me what I want to see, dadgummit. A little slow with the internet than some of them are. I do know it says here that, let's see, Kelly Yarborough, 4 consecutive minutes. I don't know. That'd be a good question for everybody, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess who won 4 in a row? Y'all tell us.
I'm gonna look it up best I can here. You open up this crap on the computer and they gotta show you 400 other things before they get to the answer.
Yeah.
The following 8 drivers who have managed to accomplish a winning streak of 4 in a row. Number 1 was Cale Yarborough in 1976. Darrell Waltrip in 1981. Now, all these are going to be big name drivers. I'm sure no chumps that ever did this. Earnhardt Sr., of course, he got his. What year was that? Let's go back and see. That would have been 1987. That was a little bit earlier in his career. Harry Gant, 91. I knew that for sure. Bill Elliott did it in 92. That's when he was faster than the world.
Yeah.
He had cars that were so stupid fast back then. I know you weren't alive, but if he didn't blow up, he was pretty much lapping like super jets or something. I don't know. Mark Martin did it in 93. Jeff Gordon, of course, in 98. And Jimmy Johnson in 07. So that would be right. Johnson would have been the last.
Now, does it say that did anybody ever get 5?
Nobody's ever got 5. I didn't know that. Four is it.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Gant would have won. Let's see if it said anything about it.
Yeah, I remember he was leading that.
Yeah, he was on track to win that, and then something happened.
I don't know how I remember that, but I know that.
Say something broke on his car or something.
Yeah, it did. Something broke. He had that 5th one.
Yeah, and they're not elaborating in here, but I do remember, yeah, that was one, because Harry was one of my favorite drivers back then, and we were all.
I've always heard a lot about him, but I just looking at the stats, I mean, I say only, but he only won 18 races, I think.
Harry won a bunch of races that weren't cup races, though, and that used to be a little bit bigger thing than it is that some people kept up with.
Yeah. So, I mean, he won a quarter of his races in September, just about.
Yeah. He was always a threat.
Yeah.
Most weeks when we were watching races back then, he was a threat to win. He was a very good driver. He was almost more like a Pearson or something.
A Sheldon Creed.
I wouldn't even say that. I'd say more like a Pearson that just bided his time throughout.
Oh yeah,
trying to keep his car on.
I just didn't know if he had a lot more seconds than he did wins.
No, and I don't know that stat either. But he wasn't like Buddy Baker, go out there and put his foot on the floor and let him either hit something or it blows up.
Yeah.
And they actually did take care of their car some then, so that was kind of an important thing.
Yeah. All right, well, so Reddick wins. SVG gets dethroned right where he got beat last year. So.
But he did get a win this weekend.
Yeah.
He did manage to get a win that maybe or maybe not he would have got. There was some poor guys this weekend, though, that might have even been more of a challenge for him had they not had problems.
Yeah, I think Connor was looking to challenge him in both races and got screwed over in both races.
I think for sure in the O'Reilly Auto Parts race, got it right that time.
Yeah.
I do believe Connor was better than him.
He was faster than the counter service there, ain't he?
Yeah, faster than the counter service. There you go. Quicker than their counter service. That's true a lot of times.
Yep, and broke a brake caliper or whatever.
I know they replaced the rotor. They said caliper, but of course they didn't show it, but I did see the rotor laying on the ground that they replaced. Anyhow, I think that would have been his race had things went a different way. But today there were some good drivers, and I'm not saying they would have beat Shane, but you told me earlier, I didn't know this till we were coming back a little while ago, that the fastest lap today would have been my man.
Ross Jackson.
Yes, sir. Got the fastest lap. Only 2 people went under a certain time.
Went under 100 seconds.
100 seconds, he was one of them. So he had speed at times.
I want to say his lap was, because that other guy was Reddick, of course. And his time was several tenths quicker than Reddick's.
Yeah. Briscoe had a real good car.
Yeah.
And just the way things played out with the tires and not having tires and having tires. If there had been 13 laps left to go when they took tires, and Bell had been a couple spots up,
Yeah.
You know, he'd have been in the hunt for sure. Of course, that not changing tires was kind of a whole weird scenario. Who did and who didn't.
Yeah, I think they got very lucky that 12 or 14 guys stayed out with them. I think if even you made that only 10, they would have been in trouble.
Yeah, and I would have, you know, we talked about that when it happened. We were listening to it on the radio, and I was saying, well, I know I'm coming in and getting tires. Turns out they had the right plan, but yeah, if the cars had been 2 or 3 spots closer, may have been a different outcome.
Yeah. I guess.
But there were a few of them that didn't take tires. I think Elliott didn't take tires, did he?
No.
And he managed to get a decent finish after having a crap day.
Yeah, he
ran back
actually
in the
went
back for a while.
forward on old tires. He went from restarted 12th on that final restart and wound up 7th.
Yeah, I'm just assuming whatever they changed on his tire or on his car during the race must have made a big difference because he looked like crap. Or every time you were telling me, they never talked about him on the radio very much. You kept telling me where he was at, and it was way in the back.
The whole middle part of the race.
Yeah, so good job for them to actually get a decent finish at the end of the day.
But the track position thing was a weird thing the whole race because I don't think me and you could ever figure out the guys that didn't ever get stage points and still didn't flip the stage. That never made sense to me.
No, they could have advanced their position when they restarted, but there were several of them that didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, and my thought at that point was, well, maybe they thought more people were coming in, but if you were back that far, you knew who was coming in. I mean,
Yeah.
You see them ahead of you.
Yeah,
Make that last second decision, jump in there and grab some. You ought to have your people on the wall, whether you're getting them or not, ready to go.
I think Austin Dillon at the end of stage 1 flipped it from 35th to 8th. Like, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
I think it's way easier to just get 27 free spots than it is to drive past them. I mean, I've never raced, but that just sounds easier to me.
Yeah, and the passing there is at a premium. I mean, if your car's not a bit better than
if you're
somebody
not
else's.
SVG.
Yeah. And even if you were him today, there were a few drivers that if they were ahead of him, I don't think he could get by them.
No, he couldn't, but I think he was the only guy that, well, besides Bell on those new tires at the end, but when they were on about equal tires, Shane was the only guy that went from like 15th to second or third.
You're missing one.
Ross never made it back.
I'm talking about the one that come from the back with crappy tires after he started.
Oh yeah, Connor.
Yes,
That's
sir.
true.
He might be a rookie, but he's not a rookie on that road course.
No, what was it? 25th to 7th, back to dead last, back up to 4th, back to dead last, and back to 14th on older tires.
On older tires that were probably flat spotted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shane might have somebody to worry about. It ain't Tyler Reddick.
No, everybody expected that, but I think today really proved it. He did well in that.
I mean, after he qualified 25th, I didn't know that I even expected it. I didn't pick him today, but he proved me wrong.
The boy's got talent.
Yeah.
Here's the question that we were talking about earlier, though, that I'm curious. You know, we talked about this earlier. He started off last year, okay, didn't do so great. How many, was it, 10 races into the season or something?
Yeah, and he didn't even barely get maybe like 2 or 3 top 10s. That was good.
He got that car figured out, and his team got everything working, and man, they were on a roll. I'm not saying that'll happen over here, but it really wouldn't surprise me. The boy's got talent.
That's just weird. I know people have to find their footing and all, but I feel like stuff clicking to where he goes from like if I remember right, he had a 17th place average finish before he went on his run.
Sounds right.
And it's weird to click and flip to being that good. Like that's, I don't know.
You know,
because there wasn't no like incremental increase. He just went from 17th to a win. Second win.
Yeah, there's a little more there. You got like, it's not just him. Of course, you got a crew chief and a team around him and all that. And, you know, eventually you're going to hit on something that he likes. And when you do, you kind of stick to it. And you got to learn what he's saying, what's loose and what's tight and what this means and that means, you know. And I think once you get each other figured out, it makes a tremendous difference. And I think it was more of that, just the whole team finally came together and they figured out, hey, this is what he wants. Let's give it to him.
That and being in a JRM car, and I remember he said after he sat at home that one weekend and watched Larson go out there and do what he did in his car,
Yeah,
said that lit a fire under him
Yeah.
because he knew that he hadn't been performing right.
And you know, maybe you're in that car and you're thinking, I've been driving this way and it'll only go in this far, and you see Larson get out there and drive in 10 more car lengths and the car sticks, and you say, well, get on the wheel a little more.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, I'm just curious, how is his progression going to be this year in that car? He's not in quite a top tier team. I'm not going to say they're that many steps behind, though. I think they're good enough. I mean, Shane's kind of proven that. He's gotten much better the end of last year and this year at running in a lot better position than he had. We'll see what this year holds for him, but I mean, even in some of the other races, he's done much better.
Yeah, I'm starting to, I know we're still only 3 in, but I'm starting to think that he might be a long shot on getting into the chase now, because I think he's cycled out around 33rd.
Yeah, he's got a long road to
So he's going to have to do that thing he did last year to get back rolling into the chase, maybe, but he knows road courses. We know that now.
Yeah.
Next week will be the first oval, though.
Now, here's one of the things I know, like you say, we've only seen a couple of plate tracks or whatever they call drafting tracks or whatever you want to call them now in a road course. But if this season stays like we've started out, there's a whole lot of more players in the game now.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. The big three ain't so big right now.
Yeah, right now they're not. Is it going to stay that way? Wouldn't that be exciting?
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Joe Gibbs don't even have a car in the chase right now.
No, and it's not like Hendricks is up there battling, you know, for anything near.
Yeah, they've only got one car in the top 12.
Yeah. So,
and Spire has all 3 of their cars in. RFK's got all 3 of their cars in.
Yeah.
2311's got 2 of theirs. And Riley Herbst.
I don't know where he's at in points now. Do you know?
No, you need to check. He was 11th after the 500.
Let's see what
they had all 3 in for a race.
Yeah. Well, right now they do have the top 2.
Yeah, they're still the top 2.
And not just top 2, but they got number 1 covered big time. I'm looking at it right here.
Almost the whole race.
Yeah, 70 points.
Perfect race, 76.
Yeah, and that ain't gonna happen very often, is it?
No.
Riley Herbst is 25th. 133 points out.
That's almost 2 races.
Yeah. But I mean, that's right there with Chase Briscoe's right below him. Ricky Stenhouse a little below him. Christopher Bell's 1 up ahead of him. Denny Hammer's 2. Kyle Busch is 3 up, you know.
Yeah, but that's the other conversation I was asking you. How much longer are we going to call Spire and 2311 a underdog? Because they got the money and they're doing the things to become on an equal level as the big 3.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's actually possible? Because, I mean, Hendrick and Gibbs and Penske are always going to be the head affiliate for each manufacturer or whatever. Like Chevy's not going to go to Spire over Hendrick anytime. But
no.
Do you think it's still possible with enough money and effort to be considered the big 5 or something instead of just the big 3?
I think so, if you put the right people in the right places.
Like a Chris Gabehart?
Right, exactly. I mean, yeah, that little bit of controversy.
Yeah.
Well, that $8 million worth of controversy.
Yeah, but from what I hear, Spire don't care about no $8 million, so it might be worth it to them.
Sounds like that might just pocket change. I don't know. I've never had to deal with those kind of problems,
but everybody I see says that Gabehart is the smartest guy in the garage.
Yeah.
And I don't doubt it. After you think back to Denny Hamlin 3 years ago, he was just another guy that you thought of winning 1, maybe 2 races a year. He'd do all right to make the playoffs or whatever, but he wasn't a championship contender.
No, he was always just a good, solid racer.
Yeah, and
You
then
can count on him to win some races, be up near the front quite often.
you put Gabehart on his box, and he wins, I think, 6 races, and goes for a championship. And then you put Gabehart in charge of all of Joe Gibbs last year, and they have 2 cars in the Final Four, 1 barely missed out, and 3 of their guys all won 3 or more races.
Yeah.
And Ty Gibbs was out being Ty Gibbs. I mean, there seems to be a correlation of Chris Gabehart and success.
Yeah, and the funny part is that apparently Gibbs and Gabehart couldn't see eye to eye on things, and Gibbs does his own thing, like you said. So maybe some of that blame lays on him.
Yeah.
You know, the prodigal son has got to pull up his britches and do the right thing. It sounds like.
Yeah, because he's way, way, way past being the rookie, learning the ropes. I mean, what is this, the 4th year now?
Yeah.
He still has not won a race. And his other teammates have won 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, but he has his, like today, he has his good days. But
well, he's always been good at road courses.
He just don't string them together, though.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, just like with everybody, next week at Phoenix, he'll be one to see, all right, is he finally going to get it together on these ovals?
Yeah, and you said that they tend to do good at the first race there. So.
Yeah, I think Bell's won the Spring Phoenix race the last several years. And the other guys, I mean, all the Toyotas are up there. Even the legacy guys like Eric Jones was running top 5 there. Something about Toyota got that figured out, I guess. But I guess we'll wait and see that next week.
I'm looking down at the finish now, though. You got, of course, Reddick. He's just been outstanding this year. But we do have some other drivers, the bigger names that look like that maybe their season's getting a little better. You got Bell in 3rd, Larson in 6th. Elliott with a surprise 7th finish after his day. Blaney's 8th, which I think tires killed him, or he could have been a contender to win. It just the tires situation didn't work out right for him.
And how about that?
Denny gets a 10th place finish.
Yeah, Denny.
At the end of the day, which for him, that's almost a win on a road course.
Yeah. And they were asking him if he thought the real season started next week, and he said no. I mean, they all count. This counts just like Phoenix.
Yeah.
But how about go back to Blaney? He's starting to kind of show up at the bottom of my road course radar, because he led SVG for a while at Watkins Glen last year. I think he won a stage at the street course last year and was up there fighting for the lead pretty much all day today.
Yeah, I think all things being even today, if everybody was on even tires, everybody pitted at the exact same time and all that, I believe he'd have been number 2 today.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think anybody had nothing for Reddick. He just had what it took to win, but.
I don't know, because he fell off really hard on that very first run. He dropped back like 8th.
After that he didn't.
Yeah.
I think after they got his car, and I don't know, Blaney was right on him a few times through the day, so it's possible he was better. At times he was. For
yeah,
sure.
I think Blaney passed him in the 2nd stage too.
Yeah, I think Blaney's definitely upped his game quite a bit, where some of the others haven't.
Yeah. I feel like overall he's just more and more becoming in that conversation of one of, if not the best guy out there. I mean, I know people love Larson and Bell and whatever, but we talk about Blaney having speed every week, everywhere now.
We talked about that last year. How many races would he have possibly won last year without the problems that he had?
Yeah, but now, I mean, he's even showing up on road courses, and I don't know that he was doing that a whole lot at the beginning of last year. So he's just becoming very well-rounded as a driver, I think. But yeah, so him and is there anybody else? I guess.
And he's solid right now. He's as solid as anybody else in the points. He's 4th, so.
Yeah.
Right now things are looking good for him. Quite a ways back, but so is everybody else.
Yeah. I'll be really curious to see the points in 2 weeks after they get through Vegas and Phoenix. I feel like then us and all the teams will start either saying, all right, we're in contention or we're in panic mode.
Yeah, we better get to doing something.
I want to mention AJ today. Look, and he's 8th in points, ain't he?
Yep.
I consider that very impressive whenever you consider the fact that, for one, today they said he didn't have a helmet blower and his cool suit failed, so he had nothing and was just out there digging and got a top 10 and stage points, top 5 in both stages. Very, very solid points day. And since Colleague is switching over to Ram, Chevy has pulled all their backing. They're not getting nothing, no support at all. And that's huge. And he's still out there just. Heard drivers say that AJ is one of the most underrated out there, about maybe being one of the best drivers, and he's proving it right now.
Yeah, he played the game right today. I'm looking, he got 43 points today.
Yeah. That probably stacks up pretty good. I think SVG got like 45.
SVG was 45, Reddick was 61, and the only other one that got more than him would have been Gibbs with 48.
Yeah.
So he was 4th in points today.
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember having that talk with you last year when we started this podcast about AJ just being overlooked for a guy that just digs. He gets everything he can out of that car, whether it's a good one or not.
His problem is now, though, with his age, by the time they get Dodge up there to the Cup Series, if he's still around with Colleague, I don't know.
Yeah.
How's that going to play out for him?
I think he'll unfortunately be a guy that you look back on and it's like, what if he was able to be in a good ride?
Yeah.
But, oh well.
He's not the only one. There's going to be other drivers that could have done great things had they been in great seats.
Yeah.
It's just always going to be that way.
Yeah. Well, was there anything else you wanted to talk about with today?
I guess a couple guys. Did we mention the ones that had the bad days, like Briscoe and some of them that?
Yeah, I mean, just unfortunate luck there.
Things didn't work out as well as they should. Well, there's another one I want to ask you about, because unfortunately, usually I watch it on television and sit here and look at the computer and watch my phone to see what's going on, and I really couldn't today. We were riding up the road, listen to it on the radio. But what happened to Cindric today? I thought he was a road course racer.
Where did he wind up?
32nd.
Something must have happened to him, because
it says running, that's all it says.
Yeah, but towards, I think before that last caution, he was running about 11th. So something must have happened there. I don't know how he's wound up all the way back there.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Yeah, I always thought of him as a pretty good. His two things were plate tracks and road courses.
Yeah, I mean, he's been all right at the road courses in the Cup Series, but he hasn't.
No, he hasn't set the world on fire, but better than 32nd.
Oh, yeah, I think something must have happened there. Anybody else?
That's about it. That's about as far as I can see on today's race.
All right, well, let's go back to yesterday. The O'Reilly race. We mentioned Shane won. That is what it is, but mentioned his competition getting taken out. So you said we agree that Kyle Larson needs to leave prospect hunting to other people?
Well,
Corey Day.
Is he going to be the Hocevar of O'Reilly's? He's been blamed for a lot of rough driving, that's for sure. But he seems to be the one, though, that always comes out on the good end.
Well, yeah, you cause it, you're not in it.
Yeah, you cause the accident, you're not in it. That's right. I think I've heard that somewhere before.
They said that's what Carson told Cletus when he was at Daytona.
Yeah,
Cletus said, Carson told me if I cause a wreck that I won't be in it, but unfortunately, I was the only one in it
yeah.
when he wrecked out. But yeah, Corey did.
I don't know. They showed a clip last year where they say that the same thing happened to Shane. And that's how Connor got the win. So
I don't know. Just thinking back to that one, I think if Shane wanted to, he still could have lifted. Connor couldn't have lifted yesterday. He was in front of him. Corey's ran him over, right?
yeah. Oh yeah. He just flat. He had the stack of excuses. My car was doing this or my car was doing that. I think it would have been better just to man up and say, hey, I cut down, I hit him, sorry.
Well, yeah, did you see Connor's interview?
Yeah, he wasn't very happy.
Yeah, from what I heard, he said it sucks, but the thing that makes it worse is all I want is an apology, and he just stands over there and stares at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know if you saw Corey went and wrote a whole essay on the internet,
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, he made this whole big apology on the internet.
Oh, okay. So it's all good now.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess he can apologize on there. He just can't do it to your face. But
I don't know. Yeah, that would have been a much more exciting race yesterday. Had Zilisch been there, been able to run and race against Shane, but
yeah, I wonder how many cars he passed this weekend.
Like more than anybody, I'm sure.
A couple hundred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He showed his talent. It just didn't pan out for him either day too well.
And I think that's something maybe to even talk about with comparing how he started his stuff last year. He was plowing through and wrecking a lot of people, but the last 2 days, all that back to the front, I don't think he wrecked nobody in anything.
No.
He just got through all of them over and over and over and over and over. So he's cleaned it up pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, Corey, I mean, my question is, Rick Hendrick was so quick to neuter Ross after he wrecked like one Hendrick car. How many of his cars or junior cars can he wreck? Because he took out how many last week? 2 or 3 at least.
Yeah.
And then wrecked some more this week. I mean, he's not just wrecking random people, it's his teammates.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, it's happened. So hopefully he'll get it settled down. I don't know. That he was a big hero to somebody, so they threw him in there in a hurry.
Yeah.
Got him in a good ride, pretty quick. Sometimes the progress would be better made if you took you a little more time with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember much else from yesterday. How about Shane's pass he made, throwing peace signs out the window?
Yeah. Yeah, he actually made 2 good passes yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah. The one was reminiscent of the Heim race last year.
Yeah.
Of the last race last year with Heim, where he just that hole was there and he didn't really make it. Yeah, he made it.
Yeah.
He's just so smooth. The car, when the car is just good enough for him to do what he needs to do, he is just so smooth in that car.
Yeah.
He's another one that really, he don't ruffle anybody's feathers or push or anything. He's smooth, takes his time, makes passes in places that nobody else can if the car's under him at all. It's an impressive thing to watch.
Yeah.
Other notables, I guess, from yesterday might be Austin Hill. Is this the end of his run for the year?
I don't know, but
What did you say earlier? Everything seems to fall off after this.
Yeah, the RCR cars just.
I will say this year so far, his attitude's been better.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably go back and talk about last week after we get done with these. But, I think they said that's the 3rd time he's finished second at the COTA, and he's never won a road course, but he's always in contention at them.
Yeah.
So he'll probably due to win one at some point. He
I
just,
don't know about this year, cause they got a lot of cup drivers.
well, that's the
dropping down
problem. He
yeah.
loses every year to Connor or Shane.
Yeah, and I think them and Ross and several of them are in a bunch of the races. Probably Larson, and several of them gonna drop down and run.
Yeah,
They changed the limit this year, didn't they?
8. Yeah,
Yeah, so then it's gonna be tougher on those guys.
yeah.
But it's
I think it'll
not a
just be
bad thing.
Ross though. I mean, it was 5 the last few years, and nobody used 5 except Ross.
Yeah,
So I don't know they've changed much except him.
we'll see.
But yeah, that. And then how about the truck race?
Oh yeah,
Scott Riggs.
Scott Riggs.
That's what they call him sometimes.
Do
on
they
accident.
mess up? I feel yeah, they probably do. Wasn't Scott this week?
He was probably proud though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Lane put it on the front row.
Yeah,
Front row and front row.
from Alpha. I don't remember where he started. Was it
28.
28? Was way back there.
The worst starting spot of a truck road course winner ever.
But you know what? He put on a show because he was driving the way nobody else was. I don't know if you heard it before the race, but Ben Rhodes guaranteed he was going to win yesterday,
Oh yeah.
and he looked like it for a while. Looked like he had a good shot at it for a while. I mean, he ran real well too. But just watching Lane come through people, and the other side of that was watching him come through people compared to some of what he did last year, some of the mistakes he made.
Yeah, that might be another kind of like Connor, just
Yeah,
cleaning it up.
that was pretty impressive. I mean, he was jumping curves and doing things that most of the rest of the drivers weren't. And I could be mistaken here too, but I don't think I am. When they got down to 15 to go or whatever there was, you could see his pace slowed down some. It looked like he was being a smart driver, saving his tires, saving his equipment, so it would have something at the end.
From what I heard, it took a lot of team convincing, but yeah, I think because they said they told him to slow down in the next lap. And they're like, Lane, we said slow down. He's like, I'm just cruising. They said, you're 6/10 faster than everybody else.
Yeah.
He's like, the truck's just good. And they're like, we'll save it then.
Yeah.
But
Well, I like this comment. What would they say? He was just a short track racer from North Carolina out there winning road courses. But
yeah,
he's one of our favorites.
yeah.
We were all happy to see that here at least. I don't know. I'm sure you got people that don't like him, but he seemed like a really good guy. I think he'll go far in the sport. He'll just keep up the attitude he's got, the energy.
Yeah, and I think the effort that it probably took to make that drive was underestimated when you think about all the other guys that were just completely wore out and overheated and everything when they got out. Some guy, one of them went to the hospital, and I mean, I don't know, the truck was running so good, maybe it wasn't that hard on him, but still, he passed
was
a whole
working.
lot of trucks. Yeah,
Believe me, he was working. Like I say, he was the only one. There were several of them jumping the curve, but he was getting more airtime than anybody that I saw.
yeah. And I don't know if there was anybody else.
Yeah, we got to say something about Butterbean because he's our guy too. We all like Butterbean, and apparently he had a blowout or something on the last lap. They weren't running that well, but he wasn't up about the top 20. And
Yeah,
they got a ways to go with that Dodge program. That's obvious. They got
and they said they don't even have a simulator.
no simulator, nothing to go on. I didn't realize that. I thought they started out the season, pretty much on somewhat of a level playing field, but apparently not. I knew they didn't have notes at tracks and this and that, but they have nothing to base anything. They just show up at the track, like you said. What we think will work is what we show up at the track with, and then you throw in not enough practice to figure anything out.
Yeah,
That's a tough hill to climb.
yeah. I mean, I can't say it's completely unexpected though, because like 6 months ago we were still like, so who's their drivers? What team's going to round?
Yeah.
We didn't even know. They were very, very late in the game getting this thing started, but
Yeah, and as a team, they were off somewhat yesterday. Nobody really they cracked into the top 15 some, and I think Colin Braun did wind up ninth, but that wasn't where he was really running. They went up 12th, and they really weren't running there the whole day.
yeah.
They were more like back there. I see Dye finished 17th, and that seemed to be more closer to where they were running.
Yeah. But it was overall. I want to say that it was a very good race. I thought trucks on their first ever street course made NASCAR look good. They put on a good show, didn't embarrass nobody, and which is huge because it was a doubleheader with IndyCar, so that was a lot of new eyes, new fans to maybe get to pull into the circle, and I think they gave a very good product.
Yeah, I've been real impressed this year with the truck series, with the lack of cautions and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably got less than most of the other series at this point.
Well, what was it that record they were doing last year? I think they went like 22 races without an overtime.
Yeah.
They've just been a very clean series for the most part
Yeah.
for the last couple of years.
And,
They have their bad races, but
oh
it's
yeah,
not.
and you still got some younger drivers in there without, much experience that aren't doing real well, but it seems like, and maybe it's spotters and maybe it's NASCAR on the radio with them telling them to, make room for other guys, and I just think they've cleaned up the series and made it
Reputable.
a lot more reputable than it has been in the past.
Yeah, I agree. Guess we go back and hit on what do we have on time? What did it say?
I don't even say the time.
Well, whatever. Y'all want to stick with us? Stick with us. EchoPark. Those were three very good races last week that we didn't get to talk about. I know the Cup race joined the 90% club on the good race poll. Tyler Reddick winning from the back with no fender. You said you got that one figured out now?
I told you that's gonna be my conspiracy theory. Something going on there, the man don't have a fender. The air's gotta be hitting his daggum firewall and all that, but somehow the car gets faster than anybody.
Yeah.
That must have been something in the agreement after the trial that 2311 gets to win the first three races or something. I don't know. That was weird to me that car was that fast after that accident.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that race there, y'all got to go see it. I didn't get to go see that one in person, but man, it was unreal.
You're right, it was cold.
Yeah.
It was really cold.
It wasn't cold in my living room.
Yeah. That was, it's a good thing that race was so good, because if it wouldn't have been, that would have been miserable. I think that's the only thing that kept us going. And I'm telling you, it got down to the end and they had that wreck and threw out the red flag, and we're like, dang it, we had to stand here in this for 20 more minutes. There's nothing going on. It sucked.
Yeah.
But it was worth it, I think. And yeah, I'd be curious to see if they start showing up to a couple plate races with some fenders cut off or something. Because apparently it works. And they probably done took that car back to the wind tunnel to figure out the science of that one.
They can't.
They can't?
No. That's a super secret car or something. They probably locked that one up and it burned on the way back to the shop or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's odd. I'm sure there is some testing going on there. How in the heck did that happen?
Yeah.
But the race in itself, I don't know how many passes they had during that race.
I don't know, but it was a record number of lead changes.
Yeah.
And leaders, I think.
There were some people making some moves that just some of them didn't work out too well. Kyle Larson. But
Carlo.
see, I told
I
you
didn't know there
what
was
happened
Carlo.
there.
Yeah.
I told you he thought he was talking to somebody named Carlo over there.
Yeah.
He
That was
he
one of
just
the dumber
misunderstood.
mistakes he's made in a while, I think.
Yeah, he did. He shot down from the wall all the way down to the bottom of the track and had a super fast car.
I think that was just one of the times we talk about with Larson, just like, why did he do that? What was the reason? Because he just has those moves every once in a while. It's like,
Maybe he thought he was
Larson,
maybe he thought he was on them dirt tracks trying to do a slider or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that car was ridiculously fast.
Yeah, and he's been competitive. He was up front at the 500. He's starting to run up front of these things. He just still cannot finish them, but he'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm going in reverse a little bit, starting at the end. One, Do you think people were playing Monday morning quarterback too hard, or can you see why Bubba came up when he was leading that bottom line? You think if you were him, you would have stayed down in front of your teammate, or would you have came up and tried to block Carson's run? Because everybody's saying that he should have stayed down, but
That's easy to say, but when somebody gets a run, what are you going to do? I mean, what do you normally do? You block that run.
yeah,
I mean, that's just been the norm for what, 3 or 4 years at least now.
yeah,
That's how the races are run. Whoever's coming up, whichever line's advancing faster, you get up and block them and slow them down.
yeah. I do think he probably should have considered who that person was, as in Carson Hocevar, because you know he gonna find a way, whatever it takes. He
Yeah,
can find a way.
we go back to the Cletus thing. If he zigs, if you zig, he zags.
Yeah.
If you zag, he zigs.
Yeah,
He's not looking to get blocked.
yeah, which leads me to the restart. How do you see there was a hole, but I didn't get to it?
There was a hole, but the hole was, a little bit, and the car was a little bit bigger than the hole. I think maybe he thought it was going to open up some more, but what he did was wrong. If you're in the same position trying to get your first win, a lot of people would do the same thing, I guess. He still got some cleaning up to do on his driving, and he'll get a lot better finishes. But
He does, and that did happen.
he's trying so hard.
He's trying, and I feel like if you look at his whole 3 or 4 races of the year so far, he is doing so much better than he was even last year. Because you think back to the dual race, he just stayed in line and ran second to Chase. He didn't try nothing stupid. The 500, he ran all day, was leading on the last lap. He got wrecked, but he didn't ever wreck nobody. In Atlanta, he got into Joey, but I saw some people saying that Joey came down on him, that wasn't all his fault. And then the Bell thing was.
Yeah, well, honestly, when he got into Bell too, there's another side of that too. Ross was up his butt.
Yeah.
You hear me? Ross had a push going there.
Yeah.
If he'd have backed off, it might would have caused a wreck behind him too, because he'd have probably got spun. He was being hammered from the backside.
Yeah, that's true.
That was just them trying to get to the front.
Yeah. And I just want to shout him out too. He came back to win that race from being 2 laps down, because he had that tire go down after driving to the front. And then I never heard nobody talk about it, but he said one of his windows on his car blew out.
Yeah.
So had to.
Yeah, we thought a couple times, or I did watching the race through the day. I thought a couple times, man, he's out, he's done for, but no.
Yeah, and then there were the last run or so, he just rode around in 29th, 30th, and that's where I think he's getting smarter. He was just riding there, and I was like, what is he doing? And I had some friends listening to his radio, and they're like, he's on the radio saying he's just waiting on the wreck. And he waited, and it came. And then as soon as that wreck was over, he just blew through the field and was up there for the win. And I'm like, he's learning. He's got some stuff to do better, but he is learning, I think.
Yeah, I think Atlanta has become, EchoPark, whatever, has become one of the raciest tracks.
Yeah.
As far as being able to do things that we got now at all.
Yeah.
I think we're there in Charlotte, and we're all hoping that maybe Chicagoland's going to be the same way.
Yeah.
Hoping and praying.
Yeah.
That track just produces really good, aggressive racing. It's just the problem with that is, though, that you got aggressive racing now. So if somebody makes a move one way and somebody makes a move another way, it causes a problem.
Yeah.
But at least it's something where with the cars and the horsepower and all the way ever they've got them set up now, they are able to do things and make passes.
Yeah.
And that makes for a much more exciting race. And well, I'm 13th. That's where I'm going to be. I can't get there. Won't let me pass the guy in front of me. I got to sit here and ride.
Yeah.
So it's just turned out to be. They need to, whatever they can do to make it just like it is. If they got to coat over it every year with something and then pull the coating off right before they get there, let's keep Atlanta just like it is.
And it's crazy to hear you say that after 3 or 4 years ago when they did that. I know I was. You probably were. All the drivers were. The media, like, what is Marcus Smith doing? Atlanta is such a good track, all worn out. This is such a stupid idea. You're ruining the track. You were an idiot.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure he had his fingers crossed hoping it
Yeah.
would come back, and it did. It did. Things worked out great.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, when the track's so good, it's all about, hey, let's try to make other tracks be like that one.
please don't, by the way. We don't need another one. When you start overpopulating, then it becomes.
Yeah, you want every
Not
track to have
cool.
its own little glitch or
It's
its
like the
own
problem with the playoffs. You were trying to force the game 7 every year, so then when it happened, it's like, yeah, whatever, who cares? But Atlanta is Atlanta right now. Don't make Atlanta and Texas and this track and that track all Atlanta, because then nobody cares.
And it's going to be opinions about what's good and what's not, just like with Connor, the guy that's usually on here with us. He didn't care for today's race at all. Now, of course, I didn't watch the race, but listening on the radio, it sounded pretty exciting. I know you had somebody there towards the end that just kind of ran away, but it sounded to me like there was a lot of racing back through the field. There was a lot of strategy plays in there.
Yeah.
Some of it worked out better for some than others.
And I think we had 3 different strategies until the last caution.
Yeah.
And even after that, there was 2, and you didn't know who was going to win until probably 5 to go.
Yeah, I mean, you always have at the road course, you always have that when do we pit before the stage break.
Yeah.
So that's a part of it. But at the end of it, when Bell pitted and some of the other ones start saying, hey, we're going to break this up into 2 segments and do some things different. That makes it interesting. What they were saying when McDowell was out front, there was 3 seconds difference between him and some of the cars behind him.
Yeah.
He's just playing a different game than they are. How's it going to work out?
I wanted to find out, but Ross ruined it, or his crew ruined it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That one wasn't on Ross. You can't drive with 3 wheels, not in these cars.
Well, I want to ask you about, I don't know if you remember back to it, but Kyle getting turned in Atlanta. I see people saying that he's in the wrong for saying Gregson should have kind of lifted and gave him a chance to recover, and other people are saying that he's right. Do you remember it or have an opinion?
I don't know. I didn't get to see that.
From what I hear, he was trying to move up into a little hole. He got loose, and instead of Gregson lifting him and kind of letting him get it back together, he just plowed him and tried to push him, and it wrecked him.
Yeah, I honestly didn't see that one. I didn't get to see the entirety of that race, and that was part of what I missed, so I don't know.
All right. Well,
Them split second decisions.
Yeah.
You just gotta kind of take what both people say at the end of the day and weigh out who you're gonna believe or who you're not gonna believe.
All right. Well, we still need to go back to that Saturday, because Austin Hill did not win his 18th plate race in a row or whatever it was due to Ross Chastain. What do you think about that move?
Well, I'm a Ross fan, so did Ross try to make a real aggressive move? Yes, he sure did. But Hill came way down to block him.
Yeah.
He moved, in my opinion, probably 2.5 lanes at least to block him. If you're gonna block that hard and somebody's got a head of steam, I think that was just a block that shouldn't have been tried to be made, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a product of Austin Hill being Austin Hill and Ross Chastain.
Yeah, Ross ain't backing off.
Yeah,
I mean,
they just drove like each other. I mean, whether you want to admit it or agree, or I mean, maybe you think I'm just completely wrong, but I think Ross and Austin are very similar in some aspects of how aggressive they are.
Oh yeah, but both of them want to win, and when there's something there to be won, they're not going to back off.
So, Ross drove like Austin, and Austin drove like Ross, and Ross drove like Ross, Austin drove like, they just drove like themselves and each other, and it didn't work out.
What did Austin say? That's just Ross being Ross, and he was spot on. That is Ross being Ross. He went for the win, or went for the lead.
Yeah.
And Austin went to stay in the lead.
Yeah.
But
you can't blame either one of them. So.
No.
And you mentioned in his interview, I mean, you said it earlier, but you got to give him credit. I mean, I don't think any of us was expecting a nice, calm interview. He didn't. I think he cleaned up his attitude a lot.
Yeah. I was saying earlier. Hopefully that'll stick. And actually went to winner's circle.
Yeah, congratulations, Sheldon.
For the first time, what do you have? 75, 76 second place finish?
Yeah. 15.
15, my God.
Yeah.
You talk about a happy driver. You could see the smile. You know, they say a smile from ear to ear. Yeah. He had it.
Yep.
But you could see the boost of confidence too, though.
Well, I heard it. He said in his conference afterwards that he's kind of been getting to the point the last several years, honestly, of he gets up in the morning and he looks in that mirror and he's like, can you still do this? I can't. You can't do this anymore. He's like, I used to tell myself I could drive on Sundays, but after 4 years of this, I was to look in the mirror and tell me I don't have that. I can't do it. And he said after winning that, it gives him that confidence back. He knows he can do it again.
Yeah.
So.
And he's always been very personable too.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings to see him do well because he's always been a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
He's made some errors, and I ain't even gonna say it's not like a Hocevar thing where he's knocking people. He's made some mistakes in the car. He's not a rough driver by any means, so yeah, I'd like to see him do well.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be doing something kind of right at 15 seconds.
Yeah,
you don't walk in all of those.
No, there's a lot of guys that go, yeah, I'll trade with you.
Yeah.
But when you're that close, you know, it's like, I guess you got that Mark Martin thing going on.
Yeah.
You know, why did I get a championship? You
Yeah.
just have to, hey, I did well. But trophies mean a lot.
Yeah. The only other thing I remember from that race is Corey Day just shot him out again for. He wrecked at the beginning of the race and towards the end, I think, when he finally got up towards the lead. But
yeah,
we already talked about him, and I don't know. Did you think Rajah was worth shouting out? They said he was running really, really well there last week.
A lot of speed. Yeah, he ran real well.
Yeah, so
he's in a good car. Expected to run well, but he did a good job.
Still got to drive it.
Yeah.
And then the truck race. Tell you the biggest controversy from that one was the time finish. And I'm curious, did that offend you that they cut the race at 4:20 and didn't run the last 10 laps? Because there was some very angry people. That ruined their whole weekend, I think.
Not a good look. But everybody knew it far enough ahead.
They told them before the race.
Yeah, I was going to say, they knew what they were racing to. So.
Everybody except Corey Heim.
Yeah.
Did you see that interview? He was slamming NASCAR in every interview he did. This is so stupid. They let us just ride around the whole race, waiting on the end to come and make a run for the front, and then don't give us a heads up, and now it's too late. We're just stuck in the back, and blah, blah, blah. And sounds like his team didn't communicate to him.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Because everybody else knew that the race was going to end but him.
Yeah, I mean, they announced it on television. Everybody knew what was coming, so that's fair enough, but.
I mean,
I don't know.
The options were do that, red flag the race and come back and run 10 laps after the other race, switch the race to different channel to make everybody else mad. Cause CW couldn't keep, or whatever they were on, Fox couldn't keep them on.
Yeah.
Or make all of those teams buy hotel rooms and everything and come back and run the whole race Sunday morning.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, everybody knowing about it, that's, you have to make a call. That seems to be a fair enough call for everybody except for,
Yeah, I mean, I think it saved all those guys a lot of money, which is something they always could use. It still gave us all but 10 laps of the race, and I think with that timer going off and you not knowing when the caution could come out or whatever, it led to very exciting racing because you had to be in the lead at every possible second because you never knew in them last probably 5 minutes. I mean, if a caution comes out at 4:15, the race is probably over. They're not going to go back green. So
no,
just
yeah,
every
we know they're not. It takes at least that long
half an
to
hour or whatever.
pick up a piece of debris off the track.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it led to some very intense racing because you had to be in the lead every second or you did not know if you would have to win.
Yeah.
So.
And I can honestly say I've ran races that hit time limits and we were done. It's not the first time I've ever heard of that.
So can we say that we're fans? Maybe NASCAR should start doing time races?
No. No, I don't think, let's don't make that a standard across the board kind of thing. Just when you need to, but as long as everybody's on board or knows what's going to happen, they don't have to be on board. If they know when it's over, they know when it's over.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they all got watches or computers or something that tells them the time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that I remember much from that race except, did you see Hocevar being a good teammate? He pushed Kyle to the win and then went out there and was doing a burnout with him on the front stretch.
Yeah.
Thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was neat.
And Kyle
Hocevar said that he didn't have the car or the truck.
He said it was overheating.
He didn't have what it took to get up there. So,
which I don't know enough about vehicles to understand that, because in my mind that would mean then go for it, so you're out in clean air and cooling down. But
yeah, I mean at that point, him not running for points or anything like that, I didn't quite get the gist of that. I would have thought, yeah, just go for it, balls to the wall, open it up, see if you blow it up. Who cares? What difference does it make?
Yeah.
But he was a good teammate.
Good teammate, and Kyle even said if Carson gives him a hat, he might wear it. So, because those two have not gotten along the last couple of years.
I think he said something along, he didn't know if he was a fan yet or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how he said it, but he was a fan for a few minutes anyhow. And how many does that make for Kyle now?
For what?
Total wins.
In all three?
Yeah, all three. Do you know where he's at now?
233, I believe.
I like to see his trophy room.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's not counting special events, and I know he's won some of those.
Yeah, that's true. 63 Cup, 102 Busch, Nationwide, O'Reilly, Xfinity, Grand National, whatever. He'd been through 18 different editions, and then 68 truck wins.
Wow.
You can hate on him for winning all the lower series all you want, but
they bragged about Mark Martin doing it.
Yeah, and those guys can still drive.
Won all the Busch
They're
races.
out there because they're talented.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark Martin, he didn't catch no grief when he won. What did he win, like 60 Busch races?
48, I think.
It was a bunch.
Yeah, because I think second has 48. He had more than twice the amount for second.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Anyhow, he never to my. You know, you had your dejector back in the day that said, well, he shouldn't be out here, but the majority of the racers wanted him out there.
Yeah.
They had something to shoot for.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of them felt the same way about Kyle. And of course, you got the ones that said, well, if he wasn't out there, I'd have this many more wins. Well, up your game.
I'm sure a lot of people had a lot more wins than Richard Petty wasn't.
Yeah.
Which leads me, I want to start a debate here, make some people mad. Because I think there's an argument to be made that winning in the Truck Series today is maybe as hard as it was to win a national race back in the 60s, early 70s. Am I an idiot?
A national race, you mean?
Like whatever they.
Winston Cup race?
Yeah. I truly believe that there's an argument for that just with how many good trucks there are and drivers. I mean, there was a lot of.
I think any series now except for ARCA, yeah. ARCA, you can buy your way to a win there.
Yeah.
The rest of the series, you really can't.
Yeah, and that's.
I mean, you go, heck. Let me look real quick. Hold on. I'll click on something really quick here. All right, we're going to go to the Truck Series and look at who ran this last week. You got your winner, Lane Riggs. Can win any week. Ty Majeski can win any week. Ben Rhodes can win a lot of weeks. Chandler Smith, he can win any week. Caden Honeycutt should be able to win any week.
Yeah.
The truck he was in could win every week last year. Hemrick's supposed to be a good top-notch driver. I don't think he can win any week. You had other drivers in there like Justin Haley. I know he's in a Dodge or a Ram now. You know, Mozak's a pretty good driver. Eckes has proven to do well at times. Daniel Dye can win races. Garcia can be fast. Tanner Gray can be fast. Enfinger's proven winner. Queen, Butterbean, he's going to be there eventually. Stuart Friesen can win at times. Ankram's 1A race usually runs, top 4 or 5. So yeah, you got a pretty good list of drivers there that can be Cup. I'm saying the majority of the ones I just named have the opportunity, if their truck is just right, to be Cup drivers.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's a big debate and make a lot of people mad, but that just kind of leads me to my ultimate question of, are those 233 more impressive than his 200? I think that's an argument that can be had.
You know the difference in the total amount of starts. Now, and well, there's a couple.
Actually, hold on. Kyle Busch's Cup start last week at Atlanta was the new record for the most NASCAR starts. I think he hit 1,300.
Yeah.
And Petty had, I know it was 1,200 and something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they're right there along the same lines. Kyle got an extra, I don't know, Google how many. I know it was 1,200. So at most, Kyle has an extra 100 starts, an extra 33 wins. I mean, I know people are going to say it's the truck and the Xfinity or whatever. But
yes, so some of what he was, let's be real honest. Some of what he was winning in the truck, he was lights out better than everybody there. But
I'd say that Petty probably was at times too. I mean, he had his year, he won 27 races.
Yeah. Oh, they were definitely, I mean, there were times. I'm not saying every time on the track, but there were times. They raced real smart back in the day because it's a totally different thing, because back in the day, you had to worry every week, was your car going to hold up?
Yeah,
you're going to burn something up.
I feel like there was only a few cars back then that would finish the race.
Yeah, but I mean, that was part of the game, was making your car be able to finish a race. That was part of the game back then, and he played it better than most.
Yeah.
Him and Pearson wound up with 105 for the same reason.
Yeah.
He raced smart. He didn't go out there and nail it to the floor and hold it there and let's see what happens.
Well,
there were some other drivers that did the same thing. It's impressive.
Yeah, I'm just hoping maybe
that'd be a good debate to have.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get that one on the internet and see if we can get people talking about that, because I don't know if I've ever seen people debate that one. I don't know that I've ever heard that as a topic out there. But I know some people will be mad, but I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get your cup on.
Yeah. But I think that's it for all the races that we have had. I don't know. We talked about the lawsuit a little bit. Can you fault Gabehart? I mean, every crew chief or whatever since time has started, has taken their notes wherever they went. Is it his fault that they're on the computer now? I don't know. That's an argument to be had too, I guess.
It's the same crap we had like the lawsuit. You don't know who really did what, who didn't. I mean, if they had things on their computer and it said for our eyes only, or you know, who knows?
Now I'll tell you, this is something that flew under the radar. I don't know if you heard, but I completely missed it. Maybe you can look it up real quick and see if you can find the rundown on it. But apparently the All-Star format was announced this week, and the All-Star race.
Yeah, I saw that.
350 laps at Dover. Really long All-Star race for one. And apparently there is no open race. The full field is starting the race, and then
Yeah, they're gonna cut it down to 20-something cars.
26 is what I heard. I don't know how that system all works.
I know they're gonna invert after 75
75 laps, or invert the top 26. So I don't know the specifics. If I had to reason logic this out, it would be they're going to take all the past winners, this winners, whatever the qualifications are to be in the race. That'll be 20-something drivers, and then they need 26. So however many spots are left open, the top runners in that category after the first 75 will then be locked in for the rest of the race, and the rest of them go park it. That sounds how that would work in my mind.
Yeah, that's what. Let's see if they got something under the problem.
But that's a very long all-star race to me, and I don't know what you could do with it being at Dover to make it appealing, but I don't know if that's the way to do it either. I'll tell you something I've been hearing. It's a Jeff Cook throw out there, and I kind of like it. Hoping they'll do it one day, because I mean, the All-Star race is meant to be a gimmick, right? Just have fun.
Yeah.
So I like this idea. You throw 26 cars out there or whatever, and you tell them, hey, every 5 laps, every 10 laps, we're throwing last place out of the race. You got to go park it if you're in last. I think that would be very, very entertaining. Because, I mean, you wouldn't be able to sit back and just wait. You'd have to be on the wheel, not to be last every lap.
The race would be better at the back of the field than the front.
But I mean, at some point, it's going to get to the front because they keep cutting one car.
Yeah.
I think that would be a very, very entertaining thing, but that's just a dream for now. Would you think that's cool? Just as an all-star?
It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, is there any other news of the week that I'm forgetting about?
I think that's about it. I was trying to see if I could find that format, but
I feel like it wasn't really put out there because I never saw it. Maybe the big announcement.
Yeah, there it is. Here it is. Let's see what it says here. 350 lap main event split into 3 segments: 75 lap, 75 lap, and a final 200 lap segment.
Laps.
Wow, yeah.
That's long.
No All-Star Open. All drivers will compete in the first 2 segments, with the final lap being determined by the race of those segments. They are having a pit crew challenge. The final segment will feature 26 drivers, including winners from the previous years and fan voted participants. So is that everybody that's been a winner?
Yeah.
The last few years.
All winners.
Okay, so that's they've already got a large lineup there. Then
yeah, that's already 20-something.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, that
so basically you're gonna get a couple people
spots.
voted in. Yeah.
Vote in your most popular driver.
Yeah. So it's not really changing other than they're gonna make a 200 lap.
Might as well to call it a points race.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's kind of.
I think the regular race at Dover's 400 laps.
Well, yeah, I guess they had to give them enough laps to do something at Dover since they took their race away from them.
Yeah, maybe rubber the track in, because I don't know that it'll be anything to start. But trying to think back if there was any other news for the week, though. I will say I want to give a shout out to NASCAR's media team. I don't know if you've been seeing all of this stuff they've been posting, but they are on fire with it this year. Just that commercial we talked about a couple weeks ago, and yesterday or Friday they posted a documentary on Shane that was really cool. You probably haven't gotten to see it, but
I haven't seen that.
worth time. Really showed you a lot about him, and they post clips with Carson and Cletus, and just they have a lot of cool stuff that they're posting just all day, every day right now, and they are really, really improving their marketability, which I think is something I heard Hocevar say. He doesn't think NASCAR's had an entertainment problem the last few years. It's been their marketing that's why they're struggling, and they are really, really, really working on that and doing such a cool job right now. My phone is getting blown up 5 times a day with just new cool clips they're making that I never watched before this season. So just I want to give a shout out to them. They're really making an effort.
Yeah, and all that's changing now. So much you have to stay up with what's going on with everything on the internet and all that to keep people excited.
Yeah.
It's not, the race is about being on television, but the rest of the stuff really isn't.
You gotta retain those eyes.
Yeah,
throughout.
you gotta have stuff. Firstly, you have to have stuff on X and TikTok and all the other places, all the other formats that people are looking at. Just little pop-ups for them to see there. Hey, that's pretty cool. I might watch that.
Yeah.
Especially when you got people like Cletus and all that are big stars.
Yeah.
Big internet stars. Hey, bring the fans.
Yeah.
Create some of your own. Put some personality in some of the drivers and have them out there on the internet.
Yeah, and I think
fans in.
They are trying that a lot right now. And part of these clips is they're showing more of, like I say, Shane and Carson and just random stuff with the drivers. They're doing media, just funny clips now. It's actually getting the drivers out there more than I've noticed them in a long time.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're really, really trying that now. I have a feeling that'll help. We're really on an upward trajectory right now. I'm happy with how things are going. Feel like it's more positive than it's been in many years. And yeah, it's just Carson was saying that there was his example was there was some clip that some random person ripped from like a truck practice one time and went and posted it on the internet and got like 5 million views.
Yeah.
He was like, NASCAR needs to be doing these things because these are just random people that are stealing their stuff and getting a whole lot of views. So it's the marketing to it. That's all they need to work on. They are. But yeah, I think that's all I got.
All right.
I know we had a long show, but it is what it is. Guess we need to tell everybody to look out for Kenny Wallace to be on here in a little while.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them about your experience there.
Oh yeah, you weren't there, were you?
No, I wasn't able to be there.
Was able to catch back up with Kenny from our meeting last year, got his contact, and been in communication with him, and he's gonna come on the show at some point in the summertime, so that'll be cool. Y'all got any ideas of what to talk to him about, let us know. But
yeah, we're working on getting that set up where we can communicate with him and everybody be in front of a computer, so it'll be a little different setup. But I don't know how long, y'all haven't really discussed how long of an interview or a discussion it's going to be, so it may be something we throw in at the beginning of the show or something if we only get 15 or 20 minutes or whatever. But it's definitely coming, and maybe that'll work the bigger things, and
yeah,
we'll be able to make some progress from there.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be a good one. So definitely, if anybody's got any questions, because we all know Kenny, he's a big personality.
Yeah.
So if you got anything you want to know out there, send it to us. And if it don't get us thrown under the bus with the NASCAR personality, we'll be glad to ask it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess until.
Or if anybody else has got a cousin or a brother or an uncle's brother's cousin that happens to be in NASCAR and then they want to be interviewed, hey, hook us up.
Or even if they're willing.
Yeah.
Yeah, hook us up. I know some people that know Adam Alexander. I'm starting to think about maybe seeing if we can get him to come on here.
Yeah.
You know, the TV broadcaster.
Yeah, we're not afraid to ask them questions. They might not answer and they might tell us, well, I'll never talk to you again, but we like to know a little bit about what's going on too.
Yeah. But I guess until after Phoenix, or we'll see y'all after Phoenix, and go Tyler Reddick.
Let us know if you think he's gonna be 4 in a row. Let's see who's right. I
Lucky
don't think
boy.
so, huh?
Nickname Lucky Boy, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's
The
gonna.
leprechaun,
I
Lucky
don't,
Leprechaun.
I don't think he's getting 4 in a row.
Well, we'll tell him after Sunday.
If he does, hey, good for him if he does.
I want him to.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be very cool, but that's a tough way to start a season.
Yeah. But we'll know in 7 days.
That's right.
See y'all there.
All right, let's watch. See if he sets a new record, another new record.
Bye, y'all.
See you.